and then use it against Yemen. You think that they don't know that, by the way? You think the fucking State Department is unaware of all this shit when I know about it? When you know about it because you've heard me cover the story? Huh? You think people at CIA are like, oh, doy, didn't know. I'm so confused. What? I can't believe, oopsie, we armed Al-Qaeda. That's crazy. No, motherfucker, this is how they do it. This is what their job is, okay? This is how the engine keeps fucking turning. Doy, didn't know we were gonna give arms to Al-Qaeda. Oopsie. Did a boo-boo there. Anyway, fucking gonna run an ad again. Top of the hour, every hour. Time for a 60-second ad break. It's the first of the day. Oh, I think this is ending. Hold on.
Investing in our diplomacy isn't something we do just because it's the right thing to do for the world. We do it in order to live in peace, security, and prosperity. We do it because it's in our own naked self-interest. We strengthen our alliances. We amplify our power, as well as our ability to disrupt threats before they can reach our shores. When we invest in economic development of countries, we create new markets for our products and reduce the likelihood of instability, violence, and mass migrations. When we strengthen health systems in far regions of the world, we reduce the risk of future pandemics that could threaten our people and our economy. When we defend equal rights of people the world over, of women and girls, LGBTQ individuals, indigenous communities, and people with disabilities, the people of every ethnic background and religion, we also ensure that those rights are protected for our own children here in America. America cannot afford to be absent any longer on the world stage. I come today to the State Department, an agency as old and as storied as the nation itself, because diplomacy has always been essential to how America writes its own destiny. For the diplomacy of Ben Franklin helped assure the success of our revolution. The vision of the Marshall Plan helped prevent the world from foundering on the wreckage of war. And the passions of Eleanor Roosevelt declared the audacious idea of universal rights that belong to all. The leadership of diplomats of every stripe doing the daily work of engagement created the very idea of a free and interconnected world. We are a country that does big things. American diplomacy makes it happen. And our administration is ready to take up the mantle and lead once again. Thank you all. May God bless you and protect our troops, our diplomats, and our development experts, and all Americans serving in harm's way. This way.
Damn, didn't even talk about fucking India. Well, he is boys with Modi a little bit, right? Okay, so this is kind of similar. Oh, I was gonna run an ad. I'm gonna run an ad right now, and then I'll give you my take. But it's kind of similar to fucking saying that you are going to end private prisons, like end the usage of private prisons at the federal stage, and then carve out a specific exception for ICE facilities. Like saying you're no longer going to supply arms to Saudi Arabia while allowing them to continue defending their sovereignty against Iran leaves room for large majority of the fucking weapons that you're selling to Iran to be continued to continue to be sold. Anyway, top of the hour, every hour, we do a 60-second ad break. You already know what it is. Boys, girls, and MBs. This is when we run a 60-second ad break. If you want to no longer see the ads, all you need to do is subscribe. You can do it for $5 or for free with a Twitch Prime. How can you get a free Prime subscription, you might ask? Well, by connecting your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account, you get one free Prime subscription. It's like getting money from Jeff Bezos given to me, but you can't really, it's not really from Jeff Bezos anymore. So anyway, here's the ad. We're going to go back to the margarine in a second. I don't even know what the exact resolution is that they're arguing on, but we'll look at the floor remarks and stuff. But and why do we even bother him? It's from a guy who's even worse. What do you think the likelihood is that Biden administration will have a more progressive policy towards India? What do you think will happen? The problem with India is that, like, we have built Saudi Arabia into the behemoth that it is. American foreign policy revolves around extracting natural resources from Saudi Arabia with favorable contracts and continuing to be like coalition partners against Iran in that region. So we built Saudi Arabia. We didn't fucking build India. India is a behemoth all on its own. Okay? So the problem there is if you're having a hard time dealing with the behemoth, or not even a hard time, it's just a good financial position to be in with Saudi Arabia, you're going to have a much harder time dealing with India. Dealing with India is going to look like dealing with China, especially if India starts using the Chinese approach, which is to flex its market position and say, oh, you wanna fight us? You wanna go to battle? You want to do tariffs, or you want to fucking, you want to tell us what to do? Okay, you can't. We're no longer buying shit. Now, India's purchasing power is not the same as China at this stage, but eventually it's going to get there. Saudis are Democrats, or what the fuck you say? This guy's killed a reporter? New video from Florida.
Show you.
Dude, just block it off, dude. Just fucking shut Florida down, okay? I don't want to look at that right now. It's going to make me lose my fucking mind, dude. I swear to God. I've already seen too much insane shit. Matt Taibbi, who's done more than any journalist to expose the systemic corruption of Wall Street, is now not just expelled from the left, but far to the right, the gathering consensus of Twitter lefties, the leftist political faction that tries to make itself smaller. He's right about leftist infighting. He's right about the left constantly trying to fucking make itself smaller. But also, as much as I love Matt Taibbi, he peddles in a lot of reactionary garbage, especially recently, especially because of like cancel culture and personally being called out, causes a lot of these people to lose their minds, dude. I think what I feel with Matt is, look, I really respect Matt Taibbi. I do. I loved his earlier work. I think he's done an incredible job at Rolling Stone. Like he was very similar to like, I mean, he tailored his career around the Hunter S. Thompson style of like reporting, writing interesting coverage, going to places and like writing about things that people weren't writing. Wall Street corruption is basically his main bread and butter. Lee Fong does dark money. Matt Taibbi does Wall Street, right? Yeah, Gonzo journalism. So he's great, but now ever since he like flipped over to Substack, it's all just like 2014 era Gamergate centrist bullshit that revolves around largely inconsequential cancel culture takes. And I think probably part of the reason is because he himself was a victim of cancel culture, or he himself was in the crosshairs of cancel culture, if you will, when he had a bunch of like sexual assault accusations and shit. And since then, he just like fucking lost it. And I've seen this with like people in my life, like when they personally go through an instance where they feel like they are in the crosshairs of what they believe is cancel culture, they start slowly but surely moving further and further to the right and hyper focusing on social issues to the same degree to the same degree that like the people that they're criticizing focus on it. Like, I'm a bit of a centrist on this issue, as you all know. Sometimes I shit on the over the top woke lords, the care lords, and a lot of times I shit on the edge lords as well, right? So yeah, you can five-head me all you want, but like there is a tendency for a lot of people to, there's a tendency for some people out of a place of pure frustration, okay? Out of a place of pure spite and frustration to overcorrect and engage in things that are just completely ridiculous. Okay? Completely ridiculous. And it's honestly sometimes very hard to maintain this dynamic where you yourself are supposed to be a progressive person, and yet sometimes other progressives make it very fucking hard. Okay? And they do. Sometimes like progressive people make it very hard to be progressive. And I say this as someone who has been canceled by fucking progressives a bunch of times myself. Okay? I just don't care. Like, I'm in a position where I am comfortable, and I have a community that I love, and I have a community that gives me this confidence to be able to say whatever the fuck I want to say. Okay? So when people are like, "Oh, dude, fuck you, you're canceled," like, I can't believe you're being racist. Like, who are they going to go to? Jeff Bezos? Are they going to fucking call Jeff Bezos on me? Good luck, right? And I shouldn't be overconfident because there are still ways that you can take away my income and livelihood, obviously. But for the most part, I haven't done anything so offensive that like people get together and try to do that, with the exception of Nazis who try to do it all the time. So I guess what I'm trying to say is, when Matt moved to Substack, he should have recognized that he has built an audience for himself through his diligent reporting, right? That was going to defend him regardless. He didn't have to switch his entire coverage to just focusing on SJWs and how crazy they are, especially because so many of those SJWs that you are shitting on are completely powerless. You always have to remember, these people that get together and yell about random shit on the internet, including you guys when you sometimes engage in this, including myself when I sometimes engage in this, okay? When people say like, yikes, that's a problematic take, Sweaty. Like, just, hold this L, just apologize and move on. Just apologize and move on, even if you didn't do anything wrong. Like, when you say that, you're saying that because you have resentment coming from a place of powerlessness. You do not have any power. You recognize internally that you do not have any power. So you can't change the structure. You can't change the system. So all you can do is just like get a fucking scalp immediately. It'll make you feel better. It signals to everyone else that you're doing the right thing. You're on the right side of an argument. But it ultimately doesn't fucking solve anything. If anything, it just like triggers the fuck out of the other side a little bit further, or moves people in the margins further and further to the right. And a lot of people don't have, a lot of people unfortunately don't have that same conviction. They don't have that conviction where they're like, yeah, you fucking canceled me. I don't give a shit. I'm still going to advocate for whatever I believe in, regardless of how fucking cringe or annoying my side might be. Okay? But some people, especially if they're older, or especially if their like position was compromised in a way that instilled the fear of God in them, like Matt Taibbi, or actions that they may or may not have committed, and I don't know the exact details, they go super far into hyper-focusing on just how bad cancel culture is and how bad SJWs are. A lot of these centrists are just a bunch of wannabes who want to seem reasonable. They spend a lot of time bitching about cancel culture from anime profile Twitter. Also, a lot of cancel culture shit comes from overcorrective, cringe, centrist liberals, ironically. Yes. For sure. but it is something that everybody hates. Okay? It's something that everyone fucking hates. So everything is cancel culture now, including Marjorie Taylor Greene potentially being expelled from the committees that she's on board. She's in. Cancel culture. That's cancel culture. Trump losing the election. That's cancel culture. You just got canceled by the American people. Like, everything is cancel culture. Why? Because cancel culture is bad. Okay? It's bad. Nobody likes it. The people that are doing it all the fucking time don't like it because everyone does it. For some reason, though, it is something only the left engages in the eyes of everyone. Whether they are centrists or liberals, it's just the left. Only the left does cancel culture. That's not fucking true at all, dude. And take it from someone who has literally been canceled by those very same people that constantly cry about cancel culture. I can tell you with a certainty that cancel culture is not just a one-sided equation. Okay? It's not. Right, cancel the song by not watching? What? No. Ben Shapiro, Daily Wire, every right-wing outlet tried to get me banned and successfully got me banned from this platform for 7 days. What the fuck are you talking about? Every Fox News program that cries about cancel culture literally turned around and was like, you need to ban this person. Why is this terrorist lover on a platform? I wonder how much of this obsession with SJW is a product of the permanent nature of social media and people using it to vent frustrations. Just used to be with close friends or in your own home that you say dumb shit when upset. Now conservatives find the dumbest Twitter post and project that onto everything. Yeah. I don't understand when people they say they've been canceled, but they have a ton of viewers or are still relevant like yourself. Because in some ways, it's not real. But in the moment, it's very real. Does that make sense? It's what you do after it that that allows you to recover from it. That's why there's a conversation around like cancel culture not being real or cancel culture being real. Like, yeah, look at fucking PewDiePie. How many times has he been canceled? I've been fucking canceled. I'm larger than I ever was. Okay. But then there are real instances where someone deserves to be fucking canceled, and they do, and they don't make a comeback from it. And that is someone like Milo Yiannopoulos or someone like Alex Jones, right? And then there are instances where someone who doesn't deserve to be fucking canceled absolutely gets owned, okay? And is no longer a part of it, no longer a part of the conversation, no longer can work, and that's Colin Kaepernick. You can turn around and be like, oh, he made so much money now. Like, well, dude, he was a quarterback, brother. Like, he's a quarterback who went to the Super Bowl. Like, you're fucking crazy. It's just, he's done. He's not a quarterback anymore. It's over. So, McCarthyism is not a primitive form of cancel culture. No, McCarthyism is when you literally fucking use the government to purge communists. Like, no, it's what people say cancel culture is, but that's actually that's actually damaging beyond it across the board. So remember, by the way, dude, football players don't get fucking canceled for murdering people. They get canceled for taking a knee. Okay? Just remember that. Now, obviously, Kaepernick probably wasn't as good as some of these players who may or may not have murdered people or domestic abused people, but allegedly done those things. But it's still fucking insane that we got a dude who took a knee and he can never work in the NFL ever again. Whereas homies are just fucking beating the shit out of their wives in elevators, on camera, in 4K, murdering people. There are a lot of examples, dude. I feel like everyone was shitting on Ray Lewis. I mean, but they're fucking working. That's the point. The narrative that Cap wasn't incredibly talented is laughable. He was better than 70% of all starting quarterbacks. Okay, I'm not gonna engage in this. The dogfighting shit is a different story. I think Michael Vick was an asshole and he did horrible things, but he also served his time. Didn't he? Like, he literally went to fucking jail, served his time, and that's more so a story of redemption rather than a person who suffers no consequences of their actions. Like, so that's more a story that you could use that as a story of rehabilitation. That's actually another part of this where we talk about like the draconian nature of American culture and how many people are constantly agitating to enact really strict punitive measures. And it's like, that is also a separate part of this issue as well, separate part of this conversation as well, which is that people get mad because those in positions of power that engage in like horrific acts of violence don't actually see any punishments. There's no accountability. That's why people get mad. People shouldn't get mad when there is accountability and someone has already suffered a punishment. Say some shit about pitbulls and whites lose their shit. Man, I love pitbulls too, man. I do. I know he tortured dogs. It's a fucking monstrous thing that he did. Don't get me wrong, but if you go to fucking... Stop saying he electrocuted and drowned dogs. I understand. What do you want him to fucking go to jail forever? Is that what you want? Stupid. No, they want him to die? Like, you're a fucking freak, dude. If you want someone to fucking die, like, if we're not talking about, if we're not like joking or memeing about this sort of shit and you like legitimately want someone to fucking die for animal abuse, then you're a fucking psychopath. Like, you're a freak. And the same goes for even fucking, and I say this all the time and people get mad. Same goes for even fucking rape, dude. Okay? Like, you're crazy. You're a crazy person. We have to focus on rehabilitation over incarceration. The point is if someone doesn't see any sort of punishment and continues to do the bad things. Anyway, there's a bunch of fucking 12-year-olds in my audience, and stop, you're baiting, right? No, I am not fucking baiting. I am being 100% serious about this. It is a take that it is a position that I've held onto for a very long time. I repeat myself all the time. Rehabilitation over incarceration always, if we're having a serious conversation about this. Eye for an eye leaves the whole world blind, okay? And not only that, but also, you are the problem. You are the reason why our prison system is so fucking fundamentally flawed. That's why we house it. That's why we jail a quarter of the entire world's jailed population, incarcerated population. It's fucking psychos like you. You need to really look at yourself. You need to take a good hard fucking look at yourself and recognize that you are participating in the incredibly reactionary worldview that allows this sort of incredible incredibly dehumanizing prison system to exist in the United States. This is such a privileged take. Yeah, it is. You're right. You're right. My point on we should focus on rehabilitation over incarceration is a privileged take. You're right. No, you're right. We should just murder people that you don't like. Murder people that you that have committed crimes, whether it's rape or anything. Why not murder them for theft? Actually, fuck it, dude. No reason for rehabilitative justice. What do you get? What do you get when you murder a rapist? Nothing. You don't get fucking happiness out of it. You don't get anything out of it. Punitive measures are not successful deterrents either. Okay? That's the other fucking problem. It is literally, it is a tested and proven unsuccessful measure. And here you are, you're like, oh yeah, fuck it. That's what we should be doing. Yeah. Anyway. Oh. You just broke so many hearts in here, my guy. Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. I'm a hard no on capital punishment. Sorry. Like, if this is a new take, that if you're hearing my very consistent position on this for the first time, and I've been literally talking about this for a very long time. Every time prison or incarceration or any of these come up, I talk about it all the time. If that breaks your heart, then sorry. Welcome to fucking heartbreak, okay? Here goes the exodus of those who haven't heard this position from Hassan. Yeah. This has always been my stance. Yeah. Like, here's the thing, guys. Yeah, NA, dude. This is like, listen, there's a couple issues in America where Americans just lose their shit no matter what. Guns and fucking capital punishment, or like really draconian punishments. You have this conversation with like a fucking Norwegian dude. They're like, what? You're murdering people? You're murdering people? And what the fuck are you doing? You can't do that. You fucking have this conversation with anyone else in a civilized country, they're going to be like, what do you mean you're murdering people? That's insane. How long did you go to jail for? And then you have the conversation with American. No matter how fucking insanely woke they are, they're like, oh no, you have to murder people. Like you literally, some people need to get murdered. I'm sorry, they have to get murdered. Not recognizing like such a significant fucking flaw that they have. Your use of the word murder is loaded. Oh, I'm sorry, sweaty. Let me use fucking neutral language to spare your feelings. That's precisely what you're doing. It's an execution by the state. It's fucking murder. Shut the fuck up. Okay? Sorry. What should I say? Should I use neutral passive language for you? It's loaded. It's still fucking murder. It's like someone telling me, well, I'm sorry. I'm biased towards police officers, which is precisely why you should say that a perpetrator walked into a bullet instead of in a officer involved shooting instead of a cop murdered someone. To be fair, Norwegians also let that guy that murdered 70 children in a leftist youth camp live a comfortable life, which is pathetic. No, dude, your point of view is fucking pathetic. Okay? That dude is in jail forever. Like, it doesn't matter. You think he's having a great time, dude? He's in fucking jail. He has no freedom still. Jail, regardless of the position that you're in inside of jail, you're still locked away in a facility. Okay? Your movement is still restricted. It is an incredibly inhumane thing to do to another human being, and some people deserve that. Okay? Certainly. Also, on top of that, there are limitations to this argument. I'm not a full-blown prison abolitionist. Okay? I'm not a full-blown police abolitionist either, because I recognize the necessity for some sort of deterrence protocol. I understand it. I understand that there is a need for at least incarceration, especially when it comes to certain individuals who are impossible to rehabilitate with our current knowledge over sociopathy and violent psychopathic antisocial personality disorders that cause people to go out and not be able to stop themselves from doing fucking murder and shit. Okay? And rapes and pedophilia. I'm not saying serial killers should fucking roam the lands, or mass shooters should roam the lands, dummies. But the mentality that every rapist deserves to be murdered immediately is literally the reason why black people used to get fucking clapped on all the time and still do. Not to like turn this, not to outwoke you by like pulling the fucking race card here, but that's one of the outcomes of it. The worst part about this bit is that whenever we talk about Norwegian prisons, people are like, that's better than my fucking living quarters. It's like, how do you not recognize that that's still bad? Okay? That's still bad. And that the problem maybe isn't Norway's prison system, but maybe the problem is your fucking country, where like a normal human being is subject to a worse off living condition than a fucking Norwegian prison. You're not wrong, just an asshole. I mean, that's you've just described my entire stream. If you kill a rapist, you literally get human meat and bones and whatever they had in their inventory, you idiot. Shit take. This is why your gun range was always empty. That's pretty good. The definition of murder is literally extrajudicial. If killing someone is legal, it's not murder. Then then I should stop saying that about police shootings, which is the example I just mentioned. Right? Remember, that's my counter to you precisely was, well, then I should stop, if you're going to have this semantics argument, I should stop saying that about police shootings as well, because they're technically not murder. Well, they're murder from my point of view, because from my moral framework, I believe that that is an unjust thing to do. YouTube connoisseur. We got a good React playlist here. Haas Buff. Nice. How can you be against capital punishment but be for abortion rights? Well, I'm also for euthanasia. I think the value of... I'm also for euthanasia, and I'm also for being able to defend your property. I think your safety and security and well-being in your own body as a woman overrides the potential birth that that person might give, the life that that person might fucking create. Just because I'm on board with that, and also on board with voluntary euthanasia, doesn't mean that I am going to be pro capital punishment. Why is it that every time I say euthanasia, people fucking immediately go pog euthanasia? Like, are people actually unaware of this word, or are they just memeing? I wonder sometimes. Voluntary euthanasia is wrong. I mean, that's your point of view. My point of view is that it's not. I think it could be the humane thing to do in certain instances. What do you mean voluntary euthanasia is wrong? What if you have fucking crippling cancer? What if you have Alzheimer's and you wanna take the matters in your own hands and die with dignity, and you don't want to cripple other people in your family and have to take care of you? What if you are about to undergo tremendous amounts of fucking pain? In certain instances, it's literally the right thing to do and the more humane thing to do. ALS, another great example. I'm just uncomfortable with the word. Look how the Nazis use the word. Wait, what? Euthanasia? What do you mean how the Nazis use the word? I'm not talking about fucking clapping people with disabilities, man. Like, or Jewish people. What the fuck do you mean? Are you guys thinking about eugenics? Dude, what is happening to my community? What is going on? You think I'm talking about eugenics when I say euthanasia? Lordy, what the fuck is happening today, dude? All right, let's go to someone who will ground us back, where someone with remarkable takes will hopefully cure some of your fucking brain rot. So you don't think a teen suicide is tragic then? What? My guy, the cases that I am oh my God, why do people fucking always do this? This is what I mean when I say I fucking hate debate lords. Like, you know precisely what I mean when I'm talking about like a physician approved, a person who underwent like rigorous psychiatric checks before literally saying I'm signing off on taking my own life. Not a fucking teenager who's like, depression can be medically cured, okay? As a consequence of like going through insane fucking hormonal changes and like feeling like they want to be suicidal. What the fuck?
Thank you. Madam Speaker, my Democrat colleagues, Republican colleagues, my district back home in Georgia 14, to the American people, to my mom and dad, and my husband and my children. I've been here for 1 month and a day, and I've gotten to know part of my conference, my Republican colleagues, but not even all of them yet. I haven't gotten to know any of my Democrat colleagues, and I haven't had to have any conversations with any of you to tell you who I am and what I'm about. You only know me by how Media Matters, CNN, MSNBC, and the rest of the mainstream media is portraying me. What you don't know about me is that I'm a very proud wife of almost 25 years, that I'm a mother of 3 children, and I consider being a mother the greatest blessing of my life and the greatest thing that I'll ever achieve. I'm proudly the first person to graduate college in my family, making my parents very happy and proud. I'm also a very successful business owner. We've grown our company from 1 state to 11 states. I'm a very hard worker. I've always paid my taxes. I've never been arrested. I've never done drugs, but I've gotten a few speeding tickets in my day. What you need to know about me is I'm a very regular American, just like the people I represent in my district and most people across the country. I never ever considered to run for Congress or even get involved in politics. As a matter of fact, I wasn't a political person until I found a candidate that I really liked, and his name is Donald J. Trump when he ran for president. To me, he was someone I could.
I love this. She's like a little kid being punished. Oh, look at me. She's doing the classic. Yo, I swear to God. This is Yakubian power, okay? This is white lady energy, okay? I'm sorry. No other. We've talked about builds and classes, guilds, and spawn points. No other category has the white lady card that they can use. Now, there's limitations to the character build out, obviously. Like, it's still the most OP human. The most OP human build is still the cisgender heterosexual white male. For the most part, it's like the most OP one, right? But the white female is a close second. The cishet white female is a close second, and it comes with a unique skill. A unique skill that only this character has, where they immediately turn around and make themselves like so innocent, and you know, I'm just like, oh, I'm just a little baby. What's going on? I didn't even get to meet any of my Democrats on the other side. Like, shut the fuck up, you fucking freak. You literally, like a month ago, you're like, we need to murder Nancy Pelosi. And then all of a sudden, in front of Congress, you're like, oh. And we've seen this with Boo Boo Bennett as well. She does this. It's called the Officer Daddy voice, where she's like, Officer Daddy, I was just trying to ask questions. Like, but as soon as the officer turns around, it's like, whoa, why do you like Donald Trump? Why do you like Donald Trump? Oh, you fucking leftists, you're all pussies. Oh, no, please. Oh, no. Okay? That's what she's doing here. And it is unfortunately a very successful measure that works on a lot of people.
Could relate to someone that I enjoyed his plain talk, not the offensive things, but just the way he talked normally. And I thought, finally, maybe this is someone that will do something about the things that deeply bother me, like the fact that we're so deeply in debt that our country has murdered over 62 million people in the womb.
Oh, God. Yo, this is good, dude. This is really good. She's playing all the best, the greatest hits. This is so good. This is a masterclass.
The fact that our borders are open and some of my friends have had their children murdered by illegal aliens. Or perhaps that maybe we can...
What the fuck? How many people do you know that have had their children murdered by illegal aliens? What? Dude, it literally happens every day, 3 times a day. You don't understand. First of all, undocumented immigrants, and this is a fact, undocumented immigrants commit less crime per capita than natural-born U.S. citizens. So if she knows multiple people that have been murdered by undocumented immigrants, that means there is a gigantic murder problem in America. Like, and there is a murder problem in America, but way more than what we currently expect there to be a murder problem in America. Okay? Like, literally just like everyone is dying all the time. Like, I know 20 people that have been murdered, and I know 3 people that have been murdered by undocumented immigrants, that sort of thing. Okay?
can stop sending our sons and daughters to fight in foreign wars and be used as the world's police, basically. Or maybe that our government would stand up for our American businesses and our American jobs and make the American people and the American taxpayers their focus. These are the things that I care about deeply. So when we elected President Trump, and then I started seeing things in the news that didn't make sense to me, like Russian collusion, which are conspiracy theories also, and have been proven so. These things bothered me deeply, and I realized—
I fucking love that when, and it is to some degree, like the Russiagate stuff is like Seth Abramson and shit like that, like Louise Mensch. These are leftist QAnon, okay? These are not leftist. These are liberal QAnon, liberal versions of QAnon, right? Except the material harm that liberal QAnon creates in the world, or whether we talk about like American domestic policy especially, is nothing in comparison to right-wing QAnon and the amount of damage that has caused. Now, there are some weirdo fucking like anti-imperialism always tankies out there who will fucking say, you're wrong. What about agitation against Russia? It's creating agitation against Russia. We're going to go to war with Russia. It's like, bitch, we're already at war with fucking Russia. We're at a proxy war with Russia. Democrats are going to do that. Republicans are going to do that regardless. The Lebanon has nothing to do with like us actually going to war with Russia. Okay? Stop being delusional. Those very same people who have drank the Kool-Aid of the Democratic Party are going to defend the Democratic Party regardless. Anyway. Blue Anon has resulted in... Yeah, see? TX Capita is what I mean, by the way. The guys that try to, like, big up the fucking stakes. Blue Anon has resulted in record high amounts of Russophobia and normalized intelligence and national security state in the media and DNC. Yeah, you're right, dude. Because before fucking Lebanon, we definitely didn't have a fucking expansive surveillance state, and liberals were like literally fighting against it, right? Tooth and nail. Like when Barack Obama, before the Russia gate shit, expanded our national surveillance state. That was, you know, I remember famously liberals were very opposed to that. No, the fuck they weren't. Shut up. They don't need to do the fucking Lebanon bullshit to do that, okay? Not Lebanon, Libanon, which is the liberal QAnon, which is, it's just, yeah. Yeah, America really needed to fucking use Russia as a foreign adversary to justify foreign intervention. And the other side of this equation is that, like, there is legitimate fucking evidence that Russia, much like every other fucking foreign adversary, tries to tamper in American elections. And the only counter to that is, well, we do it too. Yeah, exactly. We do it. They do it. Focus on fucking cybersecurity and shut the fuck up. But don't act like fucking Russia also had nothing to do with trying to, trying to fucking meddle in American elections. They did. So do we, all the time. Yo, people who charged and indicted because of the Russia probe, you're factually wrong if you're saying the Russia shit is as conspiratorial as QAnon. No, the Russia shit is not as conspiratorial as QAnon. But the legitimacy of like, or the impact of Russian interference on American domestic policy being as ridiculous as like what Rachel Maddow claimed it was, is no different than saying like, yeah, Jeffrey Epstein is real, which means that the entirety of the Democratic Party are pedophile warlords. That's it. There is truth within the heart of fucking Russia meddling in our foreign affairs. There is no truth in like Vladimir Putin's puppet Donald Trump is the reason why we have tax cuts for the wealthy in this country. Like, you fucking freak. You're out of your mind. You're just literally trying to justify decades, not even decades, centuries of American American politics by looking at like a comfortable narrative that you've created for yourself that is literally a rehashing of old Cold War style narratives. The worst part about it is that Navalny himself is the only solid opposition against Vladimir Putin as it stands currently, and that motherfucker's crazy too. Which is part of the reason why I don't fucking cover the Russia stuff, because Vladimir Putin sucks dog shit, but also Navalny is fucking terrible too. I don't know who, like, I have no dog in that fight. It's just gonna be shit regardless. Like, why is it that every time we oppose Russia as a foreign adversary, we in the American State Department end up siding with literal fucking Nazis, like swastika flag wearing Nazis, whether it be fucking Ukraine or whether it be like Navalny, who is not directly a Nazi, but pretty fucking white nationalist. And also refuses to collaborate with the leftist movement in Russia, as far as I know. What are your thoughts on Obama as president? Just curious. There's good and there's bad. Anyway, let's keep going.
Just watching CNN or Fox News, I may not find the truth. And so what I did is I started looking up things on the internet, asking questions like most people do every day. Use Google. And I stumbled across something, and this was at the end of 2017, called QAnon. Well, these posts were mainly about this Russian collusion information. A lot of it was some of what I would see on the news at night. And I got very interested in it. So I posted about it on Facebook. I read about it. I talked about it. I asked questions about it.
I'm the real victim here. If you yell at me, that means you're yelling at people asking questions. Why do you hate little babies asking questions? Look at me, I'm a little baby. Literally, I love her defense, dude. I love this statement. It is just her being like, Officer Daddy, I did my own research.
Information came from it. But you see, here's the problem. Throughout 2018, because I was upset about things and didn't trust the government really, because the people here weren't doing the things that I thought they should be doing for us, the things that I just told you I cared about. And I want you to know, a lot of Americans don't trust our government, and that's sad. The problem with that is, though, is I was allowed to believe things that weren't true, and I would ask questions about them and talk about them. And that is absolutely what I regret. Because if it weren't for the Facebook post and comments that I liked in 2018, I wouldn't be standing here today, and you couldn't point a finger and accuse me of anything wrong, because I've lived a very good life that I'm proud of, my family's proud of, my husband's proud of, my children are proud of. And that's what my district elected me for. So later in 2018, when I started finding misinformation, lies, things that were not true in these QAnon posts, I stopped believing it. And I want to tell you, any source, and I say this to everyone, any source of information that is a mix of truth and a mix of lies is dangerous, no matter what it is saying, what party it is helping, anything or any country it's about. It's dangerous. And these are the things that happen on the left and the right.
Guys!
And it is a true problem.
Guys, I'm logging off.
So
I need to log off, guys. It's so sad. What's happening to me is so sad, guys. What's happening to me is actually, I am the victim, okay? I am the real victim here, dude. I need to take some time off. It's so sad for me, what's happening to me, personally. Wait, I'm just trying to find, like, good emo music. that's what it is. Okay, that's literally what this is right now. It's like, oh, I'm actually gonna get a haircut and dye my hair fucking black right now. I'm so sad. I'm so fucking sad about what happened to me. What happened to me is devastating to me.
What party it is helping on the left and the right. And it is a true problem in our country. So I walked away from those things and I decided I'm going to do what I've done all my life. I'm going to work hard and try to solve the problems that I'm upset about. So I started getting involved in politics. You see, school shootings are absolutely real. And every child that is lost, those families mourn it. I understand how terrible it is because when I was 16 years old in 11th grade, my school was a gun-free school zone, and one of my schoolmates brought guns to school and took our entire school hostage. And that.
So if it was not a gun-free school zone, like, it would have been legal for them to bring the gun there regardless? I'm so confused. Also, like, the hilarity of this fucking freak. The hilarity of this freak being a part of the education committee is not lost on me, especially considering the fact that, one, there was a fucking literal armed guard, a cop, a school police officer at Parkland, and it was a demonstrable failure. And two, like, she has said other school shootings are fake. Why the fuck are we putting this arm the children with guns sociopath in any position of power regardless? Just Sandy Hook is fake.
That happened right down the hall from my classroom. I know the fear that David Hogg had that day. I know the fear that these kids have. And this is why, and I say this sincerely with all my heart, because I love our...
Also, I don't believe that. I wonder, I'm sure someone will fact check this. I doubt it. She's like, I know literally millions of people that have been murdered by undocumented immigrants. I know them. I've been murdered by an undocumented immigrant while I was on my way to fucking Congress today. I literally have been in multiple school shootings. Like, she's so fucking stupid that she's lying like a dumb guy lies. You know what I mean? Dude, yeah, I totally, dude. It's like when you're a kid and when you go to school and like someone who wants to be cool is like a perpetual liar and you know that they just can't stop themselves from fucking lying all the time. And they say shit like, oh yeah, dude, I totally like, you know, over summer vacation, I totally fucked my counselor. And then I fucked my counselor's mom. And then I fucked my friend's mom too, dude. Yeah, well, you won't hear about it because like, whatever, dude, like it fucking happened over summer break. Like that's her fucking argument here, is that like, I have seen a gorillion people get murdered by undocumented immigrants, and I myself have been murdered, and also I was in a school shooting. But then these motherfuckers turn around and say AOC is lying, which is hilarious. Like, AOC is lying despite the fact that she was involved in a situation that everyone watched live on television that ended up with 5 people fucking dying. But Marjorie Taylor Greene is like, I've literally been murdered. I've been murdered by a school shooter. How dare you tell me I don't understand what school shootings look like? It's real? Oh, God, that makes it even worse, by the way. That makes it even fucking worse that it's real. Oh, the fact that she was in a school shooting and literally, or a hostage situation, and literally is fucking turning around and saying that the opposite, that we need to fucking arm the students, is so fucking freak-like, dude. She was in a school shooting situation and denies other school shootings. Oh, I'm dying. It's too much for my heart to handle, okay? A bit contradictory, don't you think? It blows my mind that she herself may or may not have been involved, unless she was the one who was taking everyone hostage. Bro, Marjorie Taylor Greene be like, I myself was involved in a hostage situation